All right. Yesterday, I had a pretty awesome conversation with Jared Hamilton, my main man, great coach, puts out great information online. Follow him, and also one of our online clients. And he asked me a question on his podcast. He said, "What are some of the unsung heroes of effortless fat loss, of effortless strength?" Okay. And that's kind of like what I really focus on is how do you make this stuff easy and enjoyable and fun? Because the mentality is like, oh, if you want to be lean, it's gonna suck, and you have to do all this crazy stuff. So I really like that question because it allowed me to kind of think about what things that have been those unsung heroes in my mind that have helped me do this and helped a lot of clients do this that people aren't asking. So the one that I kind of mentioned that I wanted to expand on a little bit was cooking the same meals, like not switching it up. And I know in today's day and age of like everybody knows about, or a lot of people know about, if it fits your macros, counting your calories, eating whatever you want. But then it can kind of lead us to swing in the other direction where it's like it can be overwhelming to constantly be figuring out what calories you got, how much is this, how much is that, and then it makes it more difficult. And the ultimate sophistication is simplicity. So for me to become better at anything, I want to continue to dive deeper into the fundamentals and the basics, not add more stuff. So I want to hack away as many things as possible, not add more things to it. So when it comes to your nutrition, the simplest thing is go back to like making your own meal plan kind of. So I would tell you meal plans in general are not helpful unless you know about calories and why your meal plan is working. But once you understand, calories are what cause fat or fat loss, and you have to be in a calorie deficit for a long enough time period, then putting in a meal plan that you kind of create and eating the same things over and over removes the guesswork, and like now it makes it easy. So if you know me and you followed me for any amount of time, this is where the little burrito boy comes in. This is where that burrito recipe came from, because this was my go-to where I could consistently make 3 or 4 or 5 burritos every day that were super low in calories, low in fat, right? And the reason that part is important, some people might think like, oh, why is the low fat important? Is because fat is the macronutrient that has the most calories. So 1 gram of fat, any kind of fat, has 9 calories. So that's where we tend to rack up a lot of calories in our eating, is in our fat intake. So my burritos were low in calories, low in fat, high in protein, and so this allowed me to hit my protein target, and they were delicious. So I can eat my burritos every single day, right? And so you might have 1 or 2, maybe 3 recipes that give you the bulk of your nutrition, the bulk of your protein, okay? And now I would still have a good amount of fats and carbs left over for fun, right? And so for me, like, I enjoy eating a donut in the morning or something sweet with my coffee. That's how I roll. I like to eat something sweet at night before I go to bed with I'll have decaf coffee at night. I'm Indian. We have ja frequently, and it's not pronounced jai, it's pronounced ja, right? And so I like to have something with that. Sometimes it's Oreo, sometimes it's breakfast club, whatever it is, right? So I would recommend to you so now how can you implement this for yourself? First is like you have to go back to the basics again. Now that you kind of understand the big picture, the core of your meals should be single ingredient foods, because it's not impossible, but it's way easier to track single ingredient foods. Eat foods that are ingredients, not that have ingredients. So chicken breast is just chicken breast, and all I gotta do is weigh it. That's it. Vegetables are just vegetables. Fruits are just fruits. Like a banana has banana as its ingredient. There's nothing else. I just gotta weigh it, right? So that makes it very, very simple, and that's like my cornerstone, which allows me to be consistent and stay in a calorie deficit without overthinking and overcomplicating, right? Um, and so um, the foods, not to say that there's anything bad or wrong about foods that have ingredients. It's just that this makes it easier, right? To hit your calories. And they're going to be more filling, right? So when I eat a bunch of broccoli or mixed vegetables or spaghetti, zucchini noodles, like I'm gonna be full, or a big salad, I'm gonna be full, but it's not gonna use up a ton of calories. Whereas one hamburger from McDonald's is this tiny, and I'm still hungry, I'm starving, but it has 250 calories. A cheeseburger has 350 calories. That's where we kind of make it more difficult for ourselves, right? Um, and so the next part of that is learning those few recipes. So some of the things that matter with that is learning how to cook. You don't need a ton of skills. I would tell you, learn how to get some nice instruments, get some nice tools. And they don't have to be super expensive. They just have to be yours, and you got to want to take care of your tools. That's it. Take some pride in your knife. Take some pride in your cutting board, right? Or your skillet. So I have you could find this knife. It's a chef's knife. I use it for pretty much everything. I get it from Amazon. It's like 20 bucks. You could get the same one at Whole Foods now, because Whole Foods and Amazon is the same thing. And so learn how to hold the knife, right? The chef's knife, you don't hold it by the handle, you hold it by the knife itself, right? Gives you more control, all right? Next thing is you're gonna have to play around and learn how to cook a little bit, because if your chicken sucks, it's not because chicken sucks. You just don't know how to cook chicken. If you ate my chicken, you would be like, and I was joking around about this last night. I was like, man, my chicken's so good, like it's phenomenal. And I was like, I should open a restaurant called Guafather's Chicken, like, and it's just using my chicken recipe in different things, burritos, rice bowl, whatever, you name it. But anyways, getting back to the point, take a little bit of time and be okay. Like, yeah, your food's gonna suck if you haven't practiced cooking. That's all right. Eventually, you'll get better. You just gotta want to get better, and don't worry about the few times you're gonna mess up, and you'll actually learn pretty quick, right? So things that are important in cooking are temperature, time. Those things are very important. Learning how to season, and don't making it very complicated is not going to be helpful. So for my seasoning, I'm gonna give you the answers right now: garlic salt, black pepper, and cinnamon. That's right. That's a secret ingredient. It might not sound like it makes sense, but use it and watch. All right. And I'll even give you the recipe. You cut up your chicken however you feel like. I usually slice it so it's like no thicker than like about close to an inch ish, maybe less than that, half an inch to an inch of thickness, and then 2 minutes on one side, 2 minutes on the other, 2 minutes off of the skillet, like in a bowl or covered, so that the steam cooks it from within, and then I'll chop it up a little bit more. And if it's still pink in the middle slightly or whatever, I'll just throw it back on the skillet real quick. It'll take like 2 seconds, maybe like 30 seconds to a minute more, and then you're done, and your chicken is moist, it's delicious. So that's my go-to chicken recipe for literally everything: sandwiches, stir fry, burritos, of course, and it's delicious. I could eat it all day. I could eat it without even putting it in anything, just like by itself. So you got to learn that skill. That is one of the greatest unsung heroes of fat loss. So Um, there's so many great, and if that's not your thing, right, and you want something even simpler, like instant pot recipes where you just throw the chicken in and it's cooked and like you get shredded chicken and you're golden. You don't even have to do anything. You just mix it, leave it 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you're done, right? So, yeah, like make the main part of your food repeatable and delicious, and you will get far greater results than what you can imagine. And then you can layer your, other items on top of that, but you'll also have more calories to play with because you're hitting your protein and you're staying low calories, right? So yeah, that's kind of my message for this video. Just really focusing on the simple things that people kind of ignore, and they're like, oh, I want to do this thing and this fancy thing and that fancy thing. Forget all that. Focus on the things that are actually important in fat loss, which is a calorie deficit, and then be ruthless in your pursuit of simplifying everything. Don't make it more complicated. If you look at MyFitnessPal diary, you'll see the same things every single day, like pretty much. You'll see a donut in the morning, maybe a breakfast claw in the morning. You'll see a protein shake or two, maybe depending on the day. You'll see that chicken, right? You'll see either tortillas for the burritos or like rainbow bread for like sandwiches. And then you'll see, In and Out is in there a lot, so it's very consistent. I know what the calories are. And then, like usually Oreos. And so, if I do that most of the time, it's going to be easy for me to stay in a calorie deficit. I'm going to see results a lot faster because there's no variability, right? And that's what we're looking for, right? So let me know if you have questions. Like this if you like it, and uh, message me or send me if you have questions. Leave them in the comments or find me on Instagram and you can ask me questions there. But yeah, let's get lean, let's get shredded, and let's make it easy and fun, right? I'll leave you with this one thought, right? People kind of like are obsessed with, oh well, I love food and like they do all this, like yeah, but you don't look like you're very happy. Like you're saying you love food, but I don't get the feeling of happiness from you. It's just because you don't have awareness, right? Or you think that you can't do it, and that's okay. All you got to do. My message is gonna be this: there is a better way, and all you got to do is want to do it in an easier, more enjoyable way. As long as you want that, I guarantee you it will happen and you will figure it out, whether through watching my videos or whatever, or from some other way. But you gotta want it. You gotta want it to be better and feel better and be easier. All right? So we will see you guys next time.